Greetings, Pod fans! It is day 14 of Podvidia. Pod videos himself every day in April. And today I want to talk about something that I have 100% talked about in the past because it's a weird little fun fact that I love telling people because it's so weird. But recently, within the past couple of months, I remembered that I own this book. This is the Star Wars trilogy, and it is the novelization of A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read you a very short paragraph from the official novelization of Return of the Jedi. That's why I'm wearing my glasses, so that I can read. The band started playing, led by a blue flop-eared jizz wailer named Max Rebo. Dancers flooded the floor, the courtiers hooted and brewed their brains a bit more. Jizz wailer. Yes. For years, I've been telling people about the fact that, the music in Star Wars, Figurant Ann and the Modal Nodes, you might know from the Cantina Band, and Max Rebo, the Max Rebo Band in Jabba's Palace, that the genre of music that those bands do is called jizz, J-I-Z-Z. And a musician who plays jizz is known as a jizz wailer. And it's one of those fun facts where it's just like, you tell people and they're kind of like, that's crazy. Like, yeah, I'm sure that's on a wiki somewhere, but, you know, I don't think it's going to be official. And then you get the official novelization, the official novelization of the books, and there it is. This version of the book came out in 2012, so it was pre-Disney. If you know anything, if you're a big jizz head like me, who's very into the lore of this, Disney in the past couple of years has been trying to rename that. Well, they're doing a weird thing where I think in a magazine at some point it was referred to as JATZ, J-A-T-Z, something like that, and they're trying to say that that's what it's always been called. However, and the original novelization came out in 1983, which was the year that Return of the Jedi came out. Actually really interesting as to why movie novelizations exist, and this is just off the top of my head and not related to the musical genre at all, but it was actually, it was just easier. It's a dying art, but it's because watching movies at home wasn't really a thing at the time. Somewhere, I don't know where, but I actually have a record of the first Star Wars movie, which it was also because there was no VHS at the time. There was no DVD, there was no Blu-ray. You couldn't just see a movie in the cinema and then a couple of months later own it and watch it whenever you would like and watch it 1,000 times. Now we have the internet, we can just stream things a couple of weeks after it was in the cinema. I said that on purpose, don't worry. But yeah, that's why it's kind of a dying art. Interesting thing that I've heard is Tarantino really likes novelizations of things because that's what he read when he was younger. That was his consumption of media. So if you can get the novelization of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, apparently it's there's way more detail, inner monologues and stuff like that than you get from the movie because there was information that was not even information given to the writers of the novelization. It wasn't in the movie because it's the kind of thing that they would tell actors so that their performances blah blah blah. Here's background to write your story, your character that we're not going to go into. However, it tells you what to do. But then in the novelization, it goes into those things, which I think is very cool. Just I don't know if Tarantino's a great guy, but that was just a cool anecdote that I had heard. But yeah, officially, you can tell all your friends, Jizz Wailer Max Rebo. I was looking around thinking, what can I talk about today? And I remembered this. I was just thinking of Star Wars. I was thinking of the Max Rebo Band because I have this button-down shirt that has a big patch on the back of the Max Rebo Band. And I was like, oh yeah, I should tell people that. And show off the fact that I have a really nice copy of the Star Wars novels and show off my favorite passage. So, if for some reason you own the novelization of Return of the Jedi, check it. If you own this book, so the page numbers are individual to each book. So it's page 23 of Return of the Jedi. Down at the very bottom, if it's this exact copy. No idea how it would be in different versions. But yeah, that was a little bit. You can see like the little bit of my ADHD brain where I start talking about a thing and then I get reminded of something else and then we move on to something else and then here we are back talking about jizz music. So here's the thing. I'm going to talk to you tomorrow and I hope you have a great day. Slán.